Oi, tudo bem? Welcome to lesson 5 of Brazilian Portuguese conversation. Uh, the questions that we've developed so far have been Oi, tudo bem? And you say tudo. E com você? Tudo. Tudo ótimo. It was also Qual é o seu nome? Qual é o seu nome? And you'll respond O meu nome é Tony, or O meu nome é your name. De onde você é? De onde você é? Sou de Chicago. Sou dos Estados Unidos. Sou do Brasil. And so on. The questions I want to get into today are, it's going to be 3. So it'll be, what did you do? What are you doing? And what are you going to do? All right. And yes, all of those today. I find it's a better idea overall when it comes to language learning to, instead of focusing just on one tense, for example, like all present tense for 3 months before even anything else. I'd rather see a survey of the language. I want to see how past, present, and future, just even in just a couple of examples. So I'm interested more in breadth over depth sometimes, like instead of going to all the way down the list deep on just one tense. Let me see a couple examples just in past, present, and future. So speaking of that, I'm going to put another timeline up here. And remember that falo means I speak, and estudo means I study. We've been using those as our sort of sample verbs, We've had falei and estudei, right? Pay attention to these endings, these verb endings. Conjugation, it's called, where you change the ending. So we have past, present, and future here. Just first person, just I, right? So I speak, I study. I spoke, I studied, okay? Of course, you could use these right away in sentences. You can pause right now and remember a few ways that you know how to use these words. For example, falo português, estudo português. I spoke Portuguese today. Falei português hoje. Estudei português hoje com Tony, and so on. And vou falar. Remember the AR ending. Vou falar, vou estudar. And that's how that works. By the way, you can't question these things too much. You can't be like, why is it O? It's just like, and it just is. I don't know. Something happened on the way from Latin to Portuguese that's the way it works, But you don't necessarily need to look into it too far. Like, what is it about O? You just take it. You just take it as a given of this language, and then you work around it, knowing that it's falo. You go, okay, well, estudo, right? And there are more. But the main thing I want to point out today is that while we have past, present, and future, this would be called simple past, present, and future. That whole row is simple. It's I speak, I spoke. So just wanted to point out that there's the continuous version of these two. And so what continuous means is it's the difference. So the difference between simple and continuous is the difference between I speak and I'm speaking. See how continuous is continuing? I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Estou falando. Estou means I'm here. Estou falando. Notice the ending. If this is new to you today, I know it's new for our class, our course. Then notice the ending right away. Estou falando. Estou falando. So if you can say I'm speaking as estou falando, then you should be able to guess how to say I'm studying. Estou. Take a second. Estud. Drop the ending. Drop the O. Add ando. All right. Now this opens up a whole bunch of new possibilities. I'm speaking Portuguese. All right. Translate what I say. I'm speaking Portuguese. Estou falando português. I'm studying Portuguese. Estou estudando português. Okay? So remember, we're going to learn what did you do? What are you doing? And what are you going to do? Right? And that's going to be our question starting point. O que você fez? I'm not breaking all of this down right now. I will point out that the verb fazer was the verb to do. We saw that in the last video. Fazer means to do. So without breaking this down, just without worrying about this too much, just know that in the past tense, simple, o que você fez is what did you do? Literally, what you did. O que você fez? O que você fez hoje? Hoje being today. All right, so let's just pause there for a second. As if I ask you, hey, how are you? What did you do today? That's very natural conversation. That's conversation you can have with friends or people that speak Portuguese that you know. So I'll say, oi, tudo bem? Tudo. O que você fez hoje? O que você fez hoje? Now, you can create an answer based on something you know how to say. You don't have to tell me everything you did. Just come up with just say something that you can say. In fact, choose to say something you can say based on what you know you have. So if I say, okay, você fez hoje, just say, estudei português hoje. Falei português hoje, right? Use this as like a journal. What did you do today? Did this, did that, falei português, estudei português. Present continuous, o que você está fazendo? Or o que você está fazendo agora? Agora means now, right now. So what are you doing right now? All right, so we just said, what'd you do today? Oh, no, I studied Portuguese, estudei português and stuff. Okay, cool. And what are you up to right now? Very natural conversation. O que você está fazendo agora? You say, estou estudando português agora. Estou falando português agora. And finally, see where I can fit it. O que você vai fazer? What are you going? What are you going to do? What are you going to do tonight? O que você vai fazer hoje à noite? Hoje à noite means tonight. Okay, so what are you going to do tonight? All right. Vou this, vou that. Now I know soon we have to start building new. It's not always speaking Portuguese and studying Portuguese. So we'll start to develop more and more answers. But for now, just to kind of introduce the process, and the template. All right. So vou falar, vou estudar, and so on and so forth. One more point I want to make today is that in the same way that verbs go well on a timeline, adverbs go well on a timeline as well. So agora is now or right now. Antes is earlier or before. What was I doing before? What was I doing earlier? Depois is later on or after. Before, it's, before and after, or earlier and later. And agora, okay? Now if I come down and say hoje, that's today. Ontem is yesterday. I think I need a... Is it that? I don't know. Ontem, I forget which. Anyways, ontem, yesterday. Amanhã, tomorrow. Right, and we could even go further and say like this week, last week, this month, last month, this year, last year. But again, I just like to give a small sample, just get the ball rolling. That stuff can all be figured out anytime. So yeah, see what you can do now with these patterns. Falo português, estudo português, estou falando português, okay? Ask someone, ask me, ask your friend, ask, o que você fez hoje? So, estudei português hoje com Tony. O que você está fazendo agora? Estou falando português agora, estou estudando português agora com Tony. Estou cooking, estou cozinhando. I'm cooking, estou cozinhando. I'm walking, estou caminhando. Estou... whatever it may be. What are you going to do? O que você vai fazer? O que você vai fazer hoje à noite? Oh, vou this, vou that. I'm going to cook. Vou cozinhar. I'm going to work. Vou trabalhar. I'm going to watch a movie. Vou assistir filme. All right, this is all stuff that will build. I just want you to, like, you have the potential at your fingertips to say all of these things. Just based on the structure. All right, so we'll leave it at that for now. See what you can do. Let the ball... just get the ball rolling, and yeah, approach it kind of like a journal, a notebook. Practice expressing your thoughts, visualizing yourself speaking Portuguese, and we'll continue to let the conversation and the patterns, let the conversation teach us the patterns, and the patterns create the conversation. All right, so see you in the next video.